So this problem says, same question, but now we're talking about a number in base 3, and the number is 1 with 5 zeros, and it's saying what's the number preceding it, and they also want to know what the number is following it. So what we do is we think about what they're saying here. Well, this is, remember, this is, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 3 to the 0. This is 3 to the 1. This is 3 to the 2. This is 3 to the 3. This is 3 to the 4. And this is 3 to the 5. Well, we can't borrow, thinking back to the other one we just did, we can't borrow any of these first 5 digits. So we have to change this to a 0. That's the only thing we can do. But if we change that to a 0, we're going to have to change this to the biggest number we possibly can. And if it's base 3, what are our options in base 3? 0, 1, or 2, right? So we're going to have to change this to a base 2 to 2. Let's think of it back to in base 10. What if I had a number in base 10 and I said, what's the number right before this? Can you borrow anything? Can you borrow anything from these zeros?
No.
No. So you have to borrow this, and that the only thing left to borrow is turning it into a 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what do all these numbers turn into?
9.
The most they possibly can in base 10, which is a bunch of 9s. That would be the number right before it. It's the same concept here. So all of these things change to the highest possible number,
Yeah, but wouldn't
which
you
is
have
2.
To,
So it takes a little bit of faith here to see it, but you can see how it works in the tens digit. That's how it works in everything. If you wanted the number before 100 in base 5, the number before 100 in base 5 would be borrowing from this one, turning it into a 0, and making these the biggest they could possibly be. And in base 5, what's the biggest they could possibly be?
4.
4. It would be 44. It would be 044 if it was a base 5 system and they wanted the number before it. That's the concept. That's what they're trying to help you understand with all these questions, is how different basis systems work differently, but they follow the same patterns. Because if you think about it, what's 4? If you did the math on this, this would be 5 to the 0, and this would be 5 to the 1, and this would be 5 to the 2. What's 5 squared?
25.
It's 25. So 100 is really 25. What would 044 be? I guarantee it's 24. Let's check it. It's 4 of the 5s plus 4 of the 1s, right? Which is 20 plus 4, which is 24. That's the whole point behind this numerical base concept, is you can have any base you want, and they just act differently. They work differently than what we're used. They're similar. They follow similar patterns, but they look the same. So what's the number preceding it? It's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 5 2s. That's the number preceding it. And what's the number following this number? If they asked you, what's the number following that number in base 3? Well, what would you have to change? What would you have to change to get the number following it? You would just have to add one more. So it would be 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That would be the number following it.